Intelexx here, and welcome to Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast, the podcast for Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists.
And just like that,
If you want to
season
catch
3 is
up
a wrap.
on all of our seasons, make sure to check us out on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, and so much more, because we have had so many amazing episodes, so many amazing entrepreneurs, so much advice on different books you can read, different influential people that you can look up, resources, and so much more. If you are interested in becoming a part of our podcast as a feature, definitely connect with us, because we have so much in store for you. So sit back, relax, and tune in to today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast. We are on season 4, and this is episode 6. All right, so this episode we have our entrepreneur spotlight, Christen, who we are going to get into her story in just a minute. Thank you so much for coming on and taking this time out to be with us today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, for those who don't know who you are and what you do, Christen is in the medical field, and she is going to be venturing out doing all natural health and wellness in that area. So can you tell us a little bit about how you started on your journey?
Absolutely. So since I was very young, I knew that I wanted to help people. I always had a passion for the healing of not just any kind of people, but our people. And that goes not just what you eat or herbs and things like that, but also spiritual wellness, mental wellness. So since I was a child, I just had this fire in me. And as I grew, I stuck on that path, and I, had to experience things myself when it came to health and mental health and spiritual health. And throughout that, I just knew what my calling and my purpose was. And I just stayed fast in it. And here I am.
Nice. So what, if you don't mind sharing, what things did you have to go through to kind of get you on the path of this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
So really, everybody grows up in a certain kind of environment, and growing up, I've always been different. I just knew that the normal was not really natural. So because I knew that, I always advocated to be that person that was needed, that I always needed, that I see was needed out in the community. And then as well as I experienced a lot of health issues with my heart, with anxiety, things like that, not because I had underlying issues, but it came from stress, mental health, not having my spiritual health intact. And when I went on the journey of finding myself and prioritizing those things, I found wellness came with that. Health came with that. And that is where our wealth lies. So that was my journey. I experienced a lot of things physically, mentally, emotionally, in regards of sickness, and then healing it. So that's what brought me to this place today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One thing that you said was that you had to find yourself. Mm-hmm. What was that process like?
I'm not gonna lie, it took most of my life. And it's really a everyday process. It was trial and error. It was making mistakes for a long time, and then finally getting to the point of realizing I have power over my own life. I have to be accountable for the things that I've allowed. And once I found that accountability, I had to forgive myself. Once I forgave myself, I set boundaries for myself, which then fell over into my everyday life. So I had to literally get to a point where I prioritize my life, my happiness, my wellness over everything, because we all are living in our own world. Everyone around us is just experiencing it with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And how you treat yourself is how you treat others. So
Absolutely.
definitely having a healthy relationship with self first will help you fall in line with having healthy relationships with others. Now, I know being in the medical field takes up a lot of time as far as schooling wise. So how has that been for you?
So I'm a person who has my hand in a lot at one time. I like to always be proactive, but in my proactiveness, I'm doing things that I'm passionate about, so it doesn't feel like work. So I'm currently in nursing school for my bachelor's, but I also was in school at the same time for natural health. So I am certified in natural medicine, and I'm actually finishing my degree for a natural health consultant, a holistic health consultant. So it is very time consuming. I, you know, it takes up a lot of time, but it's worth it, because in the end, the goal is to be a pillar for my community. So it's not work to me. The time is worth it to me. And I'm also a spiritual consultant, life consultant. I certified in that as well, accredited, because when it comes to health, it's not just what you eat. It's not just the herbs. If you don't believe what you're doing is going to work, it is not going to work. Your body, your mind does not know the difference between a thought and reality. What you tell it is what it believes.
That's true. That is very true. Your perception is your reality,
Yep.
even if it's not real. So what exactly is natural health? Like, what are some
So
alternatives to
natural
like regular
health,
stuff?
yeah. So natural health is really just what God gave us originally to, use to heal our bodies. A lot of people don't know that modern medicine was only brought into play for money.
Mm-hmm.
Because before that was a law was passed for modern medicine, everyone used homeopathic remedies. It was going to the earth. It was going to your backyard and growing certain things that are going to heal certain parts of your body. So it's really just connecting back with earth and using what God gave us to heal our bodies. And a lot of people think healing is, oh, I feel better right away. But really what healing is building your body up to be able to fight off the things that come against it. It's not suppressing symptoms. It's not, oh, I feel better right away. It's literally getting to the point where everybody can be sick around you, but your body is built up so much that it will not affect you. You can fight it off. Mm-hmm. You can walk around as if nothing is happening to you because you built yourself up. Now, with us growing up in a way where we've been putting unnatural things in our body, taking medications and things like that, your body's defenses are down and you're going to feel worse before you feel better. But in feeling worse, you're getting better.
Mm. That's kind of like going and working out. You in pain.
Yep.
But you'll feel better later.
Yep. That's in every sense of healing. Even with spiritual and mental healing, the beginning process is always the hardest, and I'm always truthful. I tell people all the time, listen, people talk about the good side of healing, but you got to go through it to get there.
Right. Absolutely. Now, what are some homeopathic remedies for just like, let's say if somebody has a headache or if a part of their body hurts or if their stomach is aching, what are some
So, like,
natural ingredients they could use?
a good thing for headache and stomach is like ginger. Ginger can settle your stomach. It's good for nausea. It can also help with headaches as well. If you have aches and pains, you can get some virgin olive oil. You always want to get it cold pressed. That means nothing was added to it. Nothing. It wasn't refined, and you can literally warm it up and put it on your the area that hurts. A lot of people don't realize also that aromatherapy oils can actually be heated and applied topically. You do have to cut it with another oil, maybe like coconut oil, but it actually can be applied topically, and that can relieve certain things like peppermint or lemon oil.
I hope y'all taking notes, intellectuals. Yes. So being in school, you know, it's going to take a good amount of time to finish.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you learned that you didn't know before you started?
So before I started going to school, that I learned is, first of all, I'm not just going to naturopathic school. I'm actually in a modern medicine school as well, because my goal is to learn both sides so that I can counter the one. And I've learned a lot about how modern medicine came about. You know, like, they teach us the things that they're not going to tell you when you go to the hospital. They're not going to tell you that the rights that you have. They're not really advocating for you. Although we know these things, they're not, because it's making you money. But that's on the modern medicine side. What I've learned on the natural medicine side is, as I brought up earlier, you're not treating the symptoms. It is better for you to feel worse before you feel better. And not just that, 9 out of 10 times, let's say you have a poison ivy reaction. The thing that you're going to actually use is a part of that poison ivy plant to actually cure it. So you're actually using parts of what's making you unwell, which is where modern medicine got their things
like vaccinations.
from. Yes, like they put vaccines in you to try to combat what you're feeling. But the difference is they're using metals. They're using things that are not natural for your body. And it's not actually helping you. It's actually making you sicker. Like, it's not natural. And what a lot of people don't know is they actually use the synthetic version of the herb that would cure you to give you in these medications. So they know the herbs will cure you because they use synthetic form of the actual herb. But it's not going to cure you. It's just going to help the symptom because it's chemically made.
Y'all getting the goods. Y'all getting the goods. Yes, but it's good to know. So we're gonna take a little quick break, real quick, just to plug. So if you want to get these details and really connect, find out what your purpose is, and learn who you are and how we can help you get to there. If you don't know, go to Intelexx.com, get a free consultation, book that today. All right, so that we can do specialized and customized packages so that we can help you become your best self, because that's what we do here. All right, and if you want to be a part of the intellectual community, subscribe, become a member of VIAP, which is a very important artistic person, where we come together and we're on our app, the Artrepreneurs Hub. If you go to the Mighty Networks in your app or Play Store, click on that link, click on create the account. Once that's done and is downloaded to your phone, search the Artrepreneurs Hub. We are right there to help assist you so that you can get whatever you need. We have so many different resources. And if you are already a subscriber, to the intellectual community. You have all inclusive access to our app, so you get never before seen stuff. You get previews and so much more, some goodies and everything else. So make sure to connect with us so that we can connect you with other artists and entrepreneurs like Christen and like all of our previous guests as well. All right, so we're going to jump back on into the interview. So what would you say is the best part about this field and the worst part about it?
So I'll start with the worst part about it. The field, I would say the worst part about the field itself is seeing both sides. Like, you see the side of health and wellness, but you also see the side of people suffering, people going through a lot, people not having somebody to advocate for them or tell you, like, listen, your voice is your right. We are supposed to be here for you, which is why I even stepped up and started doing what I'm doing, because that is my passion, to be that advocate, to say, listen, this is your right. This is your body. You know your body best. I'm here to advocate for you. And it also ties into the best part. The best part is that you can be that advocate. You can be that person to say, listen, I'll walk with you. I'll show you how to go down this road. I'll be your support system. I will be there. And if you, when you're out on your own, because the goal is, yes, I supply herbs and things like that. And I am a spiritual coach, but the goal is for you to be able to walk away from me with the knowledge and pass it on, So being able to have someone to call when you're out there on your own and say, listen, I need your input on this, or I'm here at the doctor's office and they're telling me this, even though I took your advice, and to have someone be able to show up and say, listen, X, Y, and Z, they said this, that, and the third, this is the law for this is X, Y, Z, this is, and be able to stand by people in their health and their wellness and their growth. So that is the best part of it.
Nice. Okay. I see the passion over there. That's good. Because some people, when they're in fields and they say they love it, you don't really see the passion behind them speaking about it. It's kind of like, oh, I've been doing this for such a long time, but I love it. But you can't tell, so you can tell when somebody is really invested in their purpose work. So that's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad
and that's
about
a part of the worst part as well, being in the field and seeing people just doing it just because, it may be money, or it may be this, or my family. I mean, it really bothers me. Even going through school, when I hear people, the first couple of weeks of school, you have to say why you're in it and why you're doing it. And people are like, oh, well, it's good money. I feel as though the way school should be run, if you don't come with a purpose or passion, you should be turned away, especially in these fields, because these are people's lives.
Right.
These is their mental health, their mental wellness. Like, it's bigger. Everything has a bigger purpose. And I don't care what name you call God by, or, what you believe in. It all has a bigger purpose. And you are meant to be a part of it, and not just a part of it. You're meant to live in it and enjoy it every step of the way.
Absolutely. Now, who has been or is your biggest inspiration when it comes to being in this field specifically?
My biggest inspiration, honestly, yes, is my family. That's my biggest inspiration. But what really pushed me is, one, myself, because I've seen the dark side and I've seen the light of it. I've seen what it was like to live not in the driver's seat and allowing others to drive that car, and giving my power over when it comes to my health and my knowledge and my spiritual well-being. And I've also seen the other side where I took control and I'm like, I have no worries. I am happy. I'm fulfilled. I am, living in literally a wealth that many will not experience, all because I chose myself. But also my son. So I had a son at a very young age, and he had a lot of health issues and wind up passing away. And because of that, I knew at that moment, I did not have anybody advocating for me. I was very young and I was going through it, and I'm just listening to the doctors. And it was like a whole big experiment just to turn out. And they were the ones who messed up.
Yep.
So at that point, I'm like, no, I have to advocate for myself. I have to stand up for myself. And I had 2 pregnancies after that. My first one was still premature. He was premature. My second one was premature. But my third one, when I decided, you know what, I'm not going to the doctors. I'm going to do my own thing. I was taking my herbs. I had somebody who was into herbs and teaching me, and I went full term. I had no complications. I had no issues. The doctors wanted to put me on trials, and I told them, no, I'm going to do my own thing. And for the first time, I had a healthy pregnancy. I was healthy. My child came out healthy. Thank goodness. But that really is what motivated me. I seen firsthand how it was and how we don't have people to advocate for us. We don't have people who want our health and wealth for us. So that inspired me to say, you know what? My people need somebody who's willing to say, I don't care what you're saying. I don't care how you feeling. This is our right. This is what we deserve. And this is what's going to happen.
Yes. And that's the important part about educating yourself. So speaking of educating yourself, what would you say is one of your favorite books?
One of my favorite books, I have so many books to say what my favorite is. But if I can be honest, my favorite book is not one that I read, it's one that I write. Because you know yourself better than anybody.
Facts.
And
or you should.
You should. I mean, honestly, you do. It's just it's whether or not you want to hear yourself, whether or not you want to follow yourself. And I feel like my favorite book is my journal. It's what I write, because that connection I have to myself is the connection I have to God. It's the closest thing I can do to get to source. And in that is my guide. And that is the most knowledge that I can get. That relationship with myself, every time I write, every time I pour into my writing, I am talking to God. I am talking to him, and then I'm listening and hearing back from him. So that's my favorite book. My journal is my favorite book because it allows me to stay in a constant state of communication with the creator of all.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I would suggest everybody journal if you are not.
Yeah.
Definitely a good way to debrief and put your thoughts out there, and a way to kind of filter out your thoughts. So if you don't really know how to say it in the right way, you can write it however you want and kind of filter it out if you want to speak it later. But definitely just to have that connection is a great thing. Now, how can people find you and follow you if you are opening up to like different clientele? What can they do to connect with you?
Yeah, so I have an email, naturestruetreasure@gmail.com. I do have a business called Nature's Treasure. It is getting up and running, as I was more focused on getting the knowledge first. So it is getting up and running, naturestruetreasure.com. I also am on Facebook. My name on Facebook is Christen Perkins Angel. Anybody can reach out, and I will be able to give a contact number, to reach out to me. I do have an Instagram, but I don't use it much. So the best way to reach out is either Facebook or email, again, at naturestruetreasure@gmail.com.
Nice. Now, before we close out, we do one of my favorite segments, which is called our gem drop. Okay, our gem drop. So we drop a gem for you to pick it up, and use it for later. So, as our guest, what would be your gem drop for us here?
My gem drop will ultimately be, you are the creator of your reality, literally. Heaven is on earth. God tells us it's within us. And literally, your perception of life is what it will be. If you see everything as wealth, health, prosperity, literally everything will be wealth, health, and prosperity. And if you see everything in a negative light, everything will be in a negative light. Literally, you have the power to create. God is in every one of us. That's how he is omnipresent. We are a part of the creator while experiencing creation. So you can literally make anything you want, bring it into fruition. And that's the gem that I will leave with you guys today.
Straight dropped it. Boom. There you have it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you for coming on. We hope to see you back here another time, maybe when you're done school and your business is flourishing and nourishing people. And we could talk about your experience then. But we appreciate you for coming on.
And thank you for having me. Just to be able to share the knowledge is just a blessing in itself.
Yes. All right, y'all. Stay tuned until next time. Have a great day and an awesome rest of your week.
Intelexx here, and welcome to Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs podcast, the podcast for Intelexx Artrepreneur Agency, the Indeed for Artists. Thank you so much for tuning into Season 4's 6th episode of Intelexx, a place for entrepreneurs. Stay tuned because our next episode, you are in for a treat, okay? If you are interested in becoming a part of our podcast as a feature, definitely connect with us because we have so much in store for you. If you want to be a part of the intellectual community, check us out. We have so much going on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and everywhere in between. And we even got our own app, okay? So that we can best serve you. All right, we thank you so much for being a part of our vision. You know, we appreciate you. This place would not be the same if it wasn't for you. And we wouldn't be here without all of our amazing subscribers and supporters. Don't forget to sign up for the talent show every month, and someone always leaves with a prize. And don't forget to take advantage of all of our special offers, our events, our merch, our resources, our referrals, because we are here to serve you, okay? And thank you for the love. Until next time.
All right, so before we go, you know, we started something this season, and that is our giveaways. And so this month's giveaway goes to someone who has been supporting us for a really long time, who has been able to grace our platform and share her knowledge, and we appreciate her. So our winner for our giveaways will be Miss Misty. Thank you so much, Misty, for all you've done to help us and pour into this platform the way that you have. We appreciate your love and support. So stay tuned. You will get a gift soon. All right. Thank you once again, everyone. We are really closing out this time. All right. So until next time, have a great day.